Now, the vast majority of students in America are on summer vacation, but school administrators are not getting much of a break. They're trying to figure out how to plan for a complicated school year next fall. I went to one school district near New York City to take a look at what that process is like.
So go sign into class.
The last week of school is usually a time for fun and celebration. But this year, at the Greenburgh Central School District just outside New York City, the end of the school year just brings big questions about the next one.
We left in March thinking we would be back in 2 weeks, and here it's June, and we're packing up, and do I set up for fall, clean up and set up? I don't know.
Teachers like Mary McKeel were allowed back inside their classrooms for the first time since the pandemic started.
When I first came in this morning, I had winter stuff out still because it was cold. So I put snowmen away.
Cleaning out a time capsule of the day students left back in March.
To sort of leave things the way they were was a little bit out of a science fiction movie.
These days, going into a school building means temperature checks and frequent disinfecting. Where people go and what rooms they enter is closely monitored. And it's still not enough. Governor Andrew Cuomo signed an executive order in early June allowing schools to open for in-person instruction of special education students on July 6th. After scrambling to make it work, Greenburgh had to take a pass.
One reason is I don't have enough staff. The next reason, I don't have the therapists to provide the services that these children need.
Superintendent Tahira Dupree Chase is now focused on planning for the fall. But that's also a challenge when nothing is certain.
We're in the phase of making sure that we have multiple plans in preparation for whatever's going to happen in September. But planning is key. What I believe is going to look like in September, if it does reopen, is that we're going to have a hybrid model.
Under consideration are plans for students to be in class half the day and online at home half the day. But that's not finalized yet. In fact, nothing is. New York schools are still waiting for guidance from the state. The next school year is getting closer by the day.
How long do you have to make a decision about September? Like, when do you got to make that call?
Like now. But like now. Actually, we don't have much time because there has to be a point of planning. There has to be a point of then communicating that plan because we do have parents who are apprehensive.
With that apprehension in mind, Greenburgh is developing a plan to let students who don't want their kids at school before there's a vaccine to send them to class completely online.
I feel that we would have to wait until possibly February.
I think we should stay home until February when all of this virus is away so that everyone can be safe.
Now, Fred, over the past week, we've seen more and more states start talking about the fall. And frankly, in a word, it's chaos. State by state, it changes, the conversation changes. But there is one through line starting to develop, which is this idea of a voluntary process to stay at home if you want. That maybe even if schools reopen before a vaccine, parents might just be too nervous to send their kids back. And so schools are developing processes and procedures for students to stay home if they want. Fred?
Wow, hence the multiple options. I mean, that was a great piece, Evan, because that really does remind you, while many people think, okay, school's out for the summer, everyone's on no, these teachers have to plan their work lessons for the fall right now, and you can't do that if you don't know where everyone's going to be and when. It's fascinating. Thank you for that look.
That's
really
right.
Appreciate
we actually
it.
had one.
Go ahead.
Oh, sure.
No, please.
Oh, no, I'm saying we actually had one teacher that we talked to who mentioned at a practical level, right? She's like, should I order books for my fall classroom, or should I try to learn about more online education systems for my fall semester? And it's just that basic stuff like that. And this stuff it takes time. Thousands of students. So yeah, it's gonna be quite a summer.
Oh, wow. Yeah, we as parents thought we were the only ones who had to come up with a plan, but they need a plan too. All right, Evan McMorris Santoro, thank you so much. Appreciate that. Joining me.